Hi guys, it's me, Kat, Mrs. Sandy, are you? Hope you're all doing really well today. And Happy New Year to you. So I have information that seems to point to the fact that the high up military is already back on the Julian calendar, which means Christmas would be January 7th. And I've been getting more and more decodes and things about Christmas even now. And I think that's what's happening. You know, last month I thought it would be a regular Christmas, but I do think now it's the Julian calendar. So let's see. So that'll be on the 7th. That's this coming Tuesday. And if you pay attention to the Q post that says 10 days of darkness, 10 days from 1/7 would obviously be the 17th, which is interesting, right? I mean, 1/7 is 17, and then you have 1 and 17. So, and then, you know, my whole thing about Washington crossing the Delaware on Christmas. But the battle, I noticed, didn't start till the day after Christmas, and that would be, yeah, the day after Christmas, I'm sorry. So on the regular calendar, the Gregorian, that would be the 26th. But on the Julian calendar, it would be the 8th, right? Because Christmas is the 7th, so the day after has to be the 8th, right? I'm not explaining this very well. And so 10 days of darkness, I'm thinking could possibly be, you know, the lights have to stay out. Because I know they wouldn't in January turn the power off. I just know they wouldn't do that. So, yeah, so the lights might have to be off, just like in World War II, where you had to have your house dark because planes were flying overhead, that kind of thing. A blackout, and Q mentioned a blackout at least once, if not more, in the Q posts. So now if you go by when the battle actually started, the day after, then that's the 8th, as I just said. But then if you go by that, then the 10 days of darkness would end on the 18th. So you have an 18 and an 18, which is for our JFK Jr., right? R anon. Although others could have been R as well. But that's the way I look at it at the moment. Okay, so this battle at Trenton, New Jersey, in case you didn't see this before, they were Hessian troops. They were like mercenaries hired by the British, and they were camped in Trenton, and they got 3 false alarms or alerts before Christmas. And that seems to align with 1/4, you know? So, yeah, so it's possible, like I could be wrong about 1/4. I think that's what it was. So it's possible we could get our first false alarm coming right up. If it's all going along these lines, like I don't know for sure, obviously. And when I say false alarm, I mean like they'll probably say, you know, have alarms go off and everybody will get nervous, but they'll say, oh no, it was a false alarm. Don't worry, nothing bad's happening. Like we're not being, you know, invaded right now or whatever. So today is the 2nd, so there's a couple of days to go. I have a person that said they had info that the emergency alert system could go off before 1/3. That would be tomorrow. So I suppose that could happen too. I might have the date wrong for when the Hessians got their first false alarm. Okay, so, okay, and the false alarms. Yeah, so this Colonel Johann Rall, R-A-L-L, he had the last alert on Christmas. He was a Hessian, and, you know, and they found him after the battle, and he had the last alert in his pocket. Now, I still think it was Diana, either in disguise as a man or was a man at that point in time, you know, reincarnation. And she kind of threw everything so that the Patriots would win. And that's why the alert was in the pocket and nobody paid attention to it because they didn't even know about it. Let's see. What else was I going to tell you? So possibly the big one, if you want to call it that, which would be they're going to tell us it's the real alert. Like the other ones were fake or false, then we're, not right. But the big one could be after midnight on Christmas, because then that would be the 8th, right? So Christmas is 1/7, January 7th. 1/8 would be the day after, obviously. And they'll probably say, oh yeah, this is it. Head for the shelters, whatever. So then, like I just said, if the 10 days of darkness is associated to that date, then it would end on the 18th, which goes back to Aranon. And then you remember the painting by John McNaughton? He has a lot of paintings out. I think he's one of our people. He could be Junior. I can't remember anymore. I get them confused. Who's who when I do decoding. But he's one of our people. And it's a painting of President Trump crossing the Delaware in a Durham boat, right? Remember John Durham? That's why that name was chosen. So it's like they're pointing us towards all this stuff, just even by picking John Durham. And John McNaughton painted the painting of crossing the Delaware. So President Trump was in there. John F. Kennedy Jr. was in the front of the boat. I think that's the prow. I'm sorry, I don't know boats. And there was definitely Sarah Huckabee Sanders in the boat. And yeah, before I go into Sarah, John McNaughton, when I see McNaughton, it makes me think of naughty John. John was naughty. And I think that's why that name was chosen in the Garden of Eden and at the cross, one way or another. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders tells the story before rallies of, having to leave on Christmas and the wrapping paper was there and she didn't know where she was going and they were on Air Force One. And it turns out that's when President Trump went to see the troops in Afghanistan and Iraq. And she couldn't tell her family where she was going. She didn't know where she was going at the time. It wasn't anything she knew about. And to me, that's like war comms as well, the fake war that's going to look like it's starting. And maybe it'll look like chemical weapons are being dropped or maybe nukes here and there. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. And so Air Force One was dark. The runway was dark. And the only lights that they could see was in one building where the troops were waiting to see. They didn't know who it was. They thought it was some high up, maybe a general. And so that makes me think of like a fallout shelter. That's the only building that has any lights. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, possibly. I know that I didn't get that out very well, but you get the gist of it, right? So let's see. Yeah, and make sure you have your medicine in your kitchen. That's what a friend of mine told me, that it was good advice. You don't know where you're going to end up or anything. I don't want to go anywhere, but that's a whole nother story. But just at least have your medicine there, and you can grab it and run out, which I know is weird, but some of you are with family members that don't understand. So maybe they'd be all upset if you didn't leave, and run to safety or whatever that might be. So this morning I've been listening to, this afternoon really, Ryan Hall, Y'all, Y-A-L-L, and that's all coded. That channel's all coded. They do storm chasing, and when there's severe weather, they come on. And I did a live stream about it quite a while ago, decoding it, and the towns there's a big tornado outbreak, and they said all the towns they were mentioning, I was putting the town names in, and it was, I don't remember exactly, but it was coding to things like disaster and like maybe run for your life or silly things like that. And so that's when I knew that this was a white hat channel. Yeah, so this young man, now I didn't take down his name. I heard his name, but I can't remember what his name is. So he was storm chasing, and I think it was a green screen in front of him. I don't think he was even really there. Matter of fact, it might have been in one of our Diana fractals, if you want to say it that way. And yeah, he's supposed to be driving to the Buffalo area, or Rome, maybe. Yeah, Rome is more like it. In upstate New York, chasing after the lake effect snow. So he said so many things that goes along with what we're doing right now, what we're working on. Top up the gas, need new tires, like make sure your tires are good, right? It's kind of double talking. And he said dealing with a vibration. You know, what he was saying to people, regular people, he was saying that the car was vibrating, you needed to have it looked at. But I think what he means is the earthquakes that they're going to produce. And it's going to look like devastation and all this kind of stuff. Volcanoes, all that stuff. Everything falling over. And they'll be showing footage that they've made. Or maybe they'll have it from other earthquakes in the past. And he said, this truck wants to pass. And then he said something else. And then ending with, it's the courteous way of doing things. And he's giving he's telling you how people should act, really. Let's see. And he said, these drives are more difficult, especially when you're tired. And I don't think these guys sleep. I don't mean just this channel, but the big white hat people that are like our Diana fractals and John and people like that. President Trump, who's usually played by Diana, they don't sleep. And I think they get tired. But for a long time, I was thinking they don't get tired. You know, their bodies are just, you know, their DNA is different. It's better than what we have going right now. So I was thinking they didn't get tired, but now I'm kind of having second thoughts about that. And he said something funny, you know. He said his eyes were feeling heavy like sloppy spaghetti. I thought that was pretty funny. And sloppy spaghetti obviously jumps out. That's a goofy thing to say, right? And it equals subconscious gematria. Like, it's all going to sink in, you know. At some point, it's going to click, like with everybody. That's just what I think. And this type of this kind of match I've gotten constantly lately. And this one is simple 208, and it won't be long now. And I've been getting that a lot in the last couple of weeks. Let's see. Another match for sloppy spaghetti is Jewish 1060, and it's Here We Go, Q17, turn off the lights. I thought that was a big deal because 10 days of darkness, right? He said, see if anybody notices right after that, like anybody notices the double speak, I think. He said, an ambulance. And then right after he said, I love sirens. And then he goes, oh no, not a siren, like fake, right? And then he said, that center console is still at your house. He's talking about something he needed to get from a friend for the car. That center console, I should say, not that. Center console is Simple 148. It's Project Bluebeam. This is insane because it's fake. And then we have Donald J. Trump, Simple Gematria, and Nuclear Weapon. So that's kind of a big deal too, don't you think? So then he said police up ahead. So he talked about an ambulance and police, which is what we're going to be seeing when we start seeing all these videos come out. You know, the chaos and everything. Should I get a new car? And then he said new vehicle. And I think he's mentioning the global currency reset, the GCR, Nasera, Jacera, all that kind of thing. And then he said bad habit. And then he said fix that habit. Like, you know, as you were saying earlier, be courteous. And then he's like, fix the bad habits. He said, let's see, he's talking about a town or city, I don't know which it is, Verona in New York, and he said Verona-ish, like he was thinking of that area, so he said Verona-ish. And in simple, it's 111, and that's dead Kennedys, illusion, the unseen, the hidden one, and projector. Because like I said, I think it's a green screen. I don't think he was even there driving all that ways. And then it also matches I am God's wife. So I think it's probably Diana that was in the car talking like a guy. The start. Now that's a Q post, right? The start. No, that's from the R post. Sorry. The start, I think. Well, correct me down below in the comments. It's one or the other. I did some digging out there. Like, that's what we talk about. We're going to go do some digging. He said, did some digging. And he said, Rome's getting clobbered right now. Well, from what I understand from Juan of Seven, Rome or Italy is where those 13 bloodline families were. Yeah, I can't think of exactly where, but it was in Italy. And let's see, he said, I'm tired, but I'll be more focused on the intensity of the situation. The intensity of the situation, which is what I'm kind of waiting for. And he said, stop to top off the fuel. And then he said, top off on gas. So he said, top off 2 times. And that is lie 8 times. The word lie 8 times. Crack the code. Evacuate, and let's go, and battlefield. So we have all kinds of things about what's coming up. And then we have remember me. I'm back, BITCHES, in case there's little kids around. And then in simple, it's 78 and it's Kennedy. And let's go was a match in Jewish and simple. So that's always a big deal to me when, it matches 2 different gematrias, Jewish and simple. So let's go, like it's going to start, is what I'm getting. And then he said, right after that, immediately after that, he said, now we I can't talk. Now we roll. And he said, I'm going to refresh my warning system. And then he had these alert noises come on. Warning system. Let's see. He got a Red Bull when he stopped to get gas. And he said the Red Bull's already starting to work. So like already starting. And I don't know if it's the placebo effect, because he had just gotten it. So placebo effect is like you think something's happening and it's not, you know, or you get the fake thing. You get the fake thing and you feel like it's happening is more like it, which is like fake alerts, right? And you think they're real. Yeah, and so that's it on that. And I wanted to make a correction on my IVER MECTIN ivermectin. I don't want to get in trouble. Correction. And that was the last video I did. And the paste or the gel is, you take it for once for the first 7 days that you're using it. After that, you look by weight. There's a weight comparison on this stuff. I'll just say this stuff, and make sure you go according to your weight. And then after that, it's 2 times a month, and 1 time should be on the full moon, because the parasites seem to get riled up by the full moon, I guess. I think that's it. So like I said, only seven days is only when you start it. And then, I'm going to reiterate it because I said it wrong before. I pinned a correction on the video, so if you want to see that, go back and look at the last video, and the first comment is mine, and I've got it correctly written there. And the sweet wormwood is a supplement. You can buy it easily online or at a health food store. And the directions are on the bottle, so just read the directions. And the parasites in the mouth, which is disgusting, that my friend Carol told me about. Hi, Carol. You take unsweetened cranberry juice, she said, half a punch cup size. That probably means something too. You know, you guys talk in Gematria, and I speak in it, I should say. So you can decode what I'm saying. You can decode what you say all the time. You can decode what Carol's. You can decode anybody. You know, that's why I said that. So you take the unsweetened cranberry juice. It's usually organic. That's the best thing to use if you can get it. And swish it in your mouth, just that little bit in your mouth, and spit it back out into the cup, and then put alcohol in that. And I don't think I said that in the video, the alcohol part. So you put that in there, and then you see the parasites wiggling around. It's so gross. Now that's not a cleanse. That's not like a cleanse or anything, but that's just a kind of a proof to say, yeah, you got parasites, and you really should be taking something to help get rid of it. Which the stuff that I don't want to say that begins with an I, that helps with that, and also the sweet wormwood supplement, that helps with that. So now that I've corrected myself, and I'm really sorry I said it wrong. I was even taking it wrong, you know, but I'm fine. So anyway, so I hope you guys are doing good. Yeah. Here it is, it's a new year. Who would have thought we'd be sitting here doing this stuff in 2025? Now, hopefully I'm right, but I'm always wrong, as somebody pointed out to me one time in the comments. And that just makes me laugh. But I just try, I just do my best. And it's just been a long time. Is it 7 years? I can't remember, but it's something like 7 years, or is it just turned 8 years? I don't remember, but it's just been a long time. And one of these days, I'll be right, you'll be right, one of us will be right. And then we'll go from there, and who knows what we're supposed to do at that point. I don't know. We're supposed to keep decoding. It'll be easier to talk to relatives, definitely. You can go, oh yeah, I knew that, and that kind of thing. But it'll be interesting what we're supposed to do after this, once everything begins. Now, one of the things I think we're supposed to do is to keep everybody calm. We're maybe that's why we're here, just to keep people calm. Just when they're losing it, you can be like the rock in the family, maybe, or that kind of thing. So we'll see. And there's probably more. There's going to be so much more that comes out, and it probably have to be over quite a period of time. So we'll be needed. Don't feel like you won't be needed. And and if you get a chance, listen to Ryan Hall, y'all. And you'll get a kick out of it. You will. You'll get a kick out of it. And you'll hear little things and you go, wait, he means this. Wait, he means that. Or she. There's a couple of women, I think, on there too. So I think you'll enjoy it, especially when there's like an outbreak. Like, okay, think about, so there's supposed to be a big, big storm barreling through the, I don't know. I'm not even sure. Maybe it's Iowa down through the Texas and then swooping back up to my area, New England, and just like a big, U, like a big U shape. And I think they're calling for it on the 10th, but that would be right after all this chaos, if I'm right. I don't know. But it's interesting. And I know a lot of people don't think they're in control of the weather, but I do. You take that for what it's worth. And I think that they're just it'll just be one more pressure point. All of this is like pressure points, what's going on. And it's going to get people to finally rely on God. That's what I think all this is about. That not to rely on themselves or President Trump or whatever, to rely on God. And they'll be praying and, and during, I remember during, was it before Gettysburg? It was before Gettysburg, and President Lincoln, who I think is up here too. That might be a step too far for a lot of you. But anyway, yeah, he had the country pray, pray and fast. And I don't remember how many times, maybe it was 3 times. I don't remember. And that's probably what we're going to be doing again. And when everybody's on kind of the same wavelength, things change, and I think things get better, and it'll be wonderful. It'll be great. So I hope you made it through this far. I've been rambling, and I'll try to do videos more often. I mean, if something happens, I am going to be doing a video quick. But I mean, like a fake alert, the internet wouldn't go down for that. But yeah, maybe that's part of the darkness. Maybe it's not really keeping our house dark, although I have gotten that a few times, keeping, matches to things like keeping your house dark. Maybe it's the internet down, but I really don't think it'll be the power. I just don't. But then again, I suppose you could, and the National Guard would be on top of everything, and they would know how many people in a certain area need to get somewhere, and I have confidence in what they're doing. I really do. So I'm not worried about it, and I hope you're not worried about it either. And if people don't remember their medicine, I know that they know what everybody takes, and they'll have everything sitting there like a pharmacy for, So yeah, they'll have the diabetes, they'll have the insulin, the diabetes medicine, I should have said insulin, and everything will be okay, So anyway, I love you guys, and please share the video. That would be so nice, so you get the word out that maybe something's happening, maybe. And like I said, my friend Carol said that the alert could be before 1/3, which is in a couple of days, and I don't know, I thought it would be a little later than that, but I could be wrong. But just remember that the Julian Christmas is on the 7th, and the day the battle, which is the day Washington crossed the Delaware, and the 8th would be like we call the day after Christmas, which is when the big battle started in Trenton, New Jersey. So when it actually started, but like I said, it could be in the middle of the night, kind of like what is the rhyme? What is that? Just the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse, right? And it's in the middle of the night, and they're waiting for Christmas. I don't know. So I'm just thinking it will be the middle of the night, no matter what. I don't think they wait till 8 in the morning. Although I suppose they could. Let me know what you think. You know, there's like a lot of what if, maybe, possibly, all through there. So, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. That's the best thing to do. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Love you again. See you soon. Bye.